Greetings, Chummer, and welcome back to another RIT90s recap for Season 2, Episode 4, Over Easy, Part 1. Boblin quickly ushers the Neon Knights inside Gwain's van as a cloud of dust billows behind them just along the horizon. Feeling the sun for the first time on his skin in 1,000 years, Lance takes a moment to grieve before composing himself as Gwain calls out to the group from inside the van. Merlin and Percy had already launched themselves inside, eager to get away from their pursuers. Meanwhile, Arthur instructs Lake to help Mordred convert the Ares mech into a more vehicle-adjacent form. As he goes unconscious, he tries to put together a distraction that will hopefully lead those following the party in the wrong direction. Kay, who was hiding under the head of the mech, held on for dear life as the robot finally transformed, landing her amidst the undercarriage of the new mech truck hybrid. The pursuers, who Boblin reports as some insurance agents looking for Mordred, a strange cyborg man with a menacing eyepiece that has multiple red lenses, and someone who claimed that they were with the Knights of St. Jude. Upon hearing these descriptions, Percy recognizes that it is none other than Zariel of Penumbra Corps, and at least one person from her old gang, who are following them, in addition to Mordred's insurance adjusters. With this new information in mind, she encourages the party to speed up before grabbing Nuke's Force Ballista and leaning out the passenger window. Lancelot then uses his Shape Earth ability to help cover the van's tracks. However, the van is beginning to lag behind Arthur and Mordred, so Kay petitions Gale to help them speed up using a hurricane-force gust of wind. This sends the van rocketing through the desert, with Boblin hanging on to the controls for dear life. Back in the mech, Arthur is able to mostly construct his distraction, and he fires a missile off into the desert, hoping to lead Zariel, the insurance agents, and the Knights of St. Jude off of their trail. While doing so, Arthur attempts to solve two problems at once by using his connection to Gwain's van as a way of overriding and switching off Percy's unidentified bioware. His assumption is that she's being tracked by one of those devices. Mordred also took a moment to hop into the Matrix in order to check and see exactly how much money he was getting from his life insurance policy. This fact-finding mission yielded more information than expected, revealing that the military AI Snowblind was also poking around in Mordred's online assets. As the van continued to speed out of the desert and toward a hideaway in New Seattle that Boblin recommended, Arthur's attempt to turn off Percy's bioware had some unexpected consequences. Percy immediately passed out in the front seat, sending Merlin and Gwain into a panic. The two were able to revive her, however, they were not greeted by Percy. Instead, they came face to face with someone completely different. After having her bioware turned off, Percy awoke not as herself, but as a trained assassin waiting for her next orders. She questioned Gwain and Merlin, but before she could catch on that they were not her contacts, Merlin used her magic to suggest that this assassin version of Percy, Murder Percy if you will, was working an escort job to protect Merlin, since she's technically an heiress. Murder Percy believes her for the moment, allowing the group to make it to the New Seattle New Waste Management Facility, where Gwain and Boblin talk the workers into letting them inside the gates. Once inside, Arthur and Mordred begin carving out a hiding spot for the Ares mech underneath one of the mountains of trash. Lancelot accompanies Gwain as the sanitation workers begin to search through their archives in order to validate Gwain's claim that he has some connection, albeit distant ones, to their organization. As this is happening, Merlin's magic wears off, alerting Murder Percy that something is wrong with this assignment. She sneaks away to contact her handler and realizes that she has been missing from her organization for 87 days and has been marked as inactive. Now even more confused, she turns around to see Kay, who, remembering Percy's past connection to chivalry is dead, begins to send her some secret hand signals, hoping to gain her trust. Arthur and Mordred finish up with the mech and return to the party, only for Arthur to run into a very angry Merlin. Tune in next episode to find out what happens next. And always remember, the birds work for the bourgeoisie.